What's up YouTube, Stefano Turtle Weggio here coming at you guys with a video I feel is something that I would like to say. So there's several different changes to the format with this current ban list. Of course, the meta has definitely been one of the main things to have changed. And one thing I would like to address with this is that you should not choose to just spend all your money on meta decks right away. Because heroes, of course, will cost you like thousands of dollars. I think spirals will cost you hundreds of dollars. Heroes are going to cost you hundreds of dollars. Guru and Ultra Geist are going up in price, so I'd say do not opt to go and buy these decks right away. Give time for the format to settle down. But also while at it, I feel there's some rogue decks you should also play. And I'm giving you an example of 3 that I feel would be perfect for someone to play in the meta. This first one you can see, I have done a deck profile on before, and I still stand by this choice. That is my zombie deck. I feel like zombies are at a state to where you can play them to go first or second, irregardless. Like, if you look at my build, it's geared towards both. But, irregardless, you can play the deck to go either or, and this deck is just very powerful irregardless, as you have the Baller Drock Rivalry Zombie World Lock, which is something that is one thing that decks have to always waste resources to break, either by breaking your Zombie World, or destroying Zombie World, or destroying Rivalry. And even at that point, if they try to use something like a hand trap on you, like Ash per se, or Ogre, well, Ogre can't be stopped, but stuff like Ash, Reaper, and Bell all can be stopped by Baller Drock, as it's such a powerful card. Not to mention, you can also chain his effect to banish a card from the field or grave as they try to activate something. Or, like, let's say your opponent's playing Appaloosa, and you activate a hand trap, and they just try to Appaloosa it. You can use your Baller Drock in response to negate the effect of Appaloosa. So, yeah, that's actually pretty good. However, of course, Appaloosa can be activated in response if you have something else to stop it. Let's say you have Effect Veiler, or in my case, what I play in the sideboard is Lost Wind. You could trigger that to then stop their Appaloosa, and it's a good way to bait stuff like that. Along with that, this deck is very good going either first or second, and can be fine-tuned to any person's playstyle. So, yeah, zombies are a very good choice for this current format we're in. So, I suggest picking this deck up. This is not that expensive of a deck, actually. I think at most it will run you about $200. The most expensive cards in here are Ash Blossom, Super Poly, Nibiru, Reaper, or not Reaper, Bell, and Borosword. These are the most expensive cards in the deck, and I think the most expensive one is Borosword, and he's like $15 at most, so it's not too expensive a deck. So it's a very budget option, and it's a good rogue deck. I'd suggest you pick it up if you want something fun to play that can still lock the opponent down and be viable this season. So that is our third choice. On to our second choice. We have a OTK deck, and yeah, I need to edit a lot of the decks in here, do not ask. Let's see, where is it at? I guess I forgot to save this, but no, I did save it. What the heck? We have Danger Lunalight. Actually, let me I need to edit this a bit more, but still, yeah, I think you pretty much, if you're gonna play this build, let me just put 2 cards in here to make this a bit more comfortable. Let's see, one thing you want is Zephyros. Then the next thing you want is, cannot remember which one it is. 4 Strix, okay. So pretty much when it comes to this deck, Danger Lunalite is a deck geared towards going second. That's why you see stuff like Phantasme and the Kaijus in here. But it's also a very graveyard heavy deck, so you don't want to just put everything in here to where you're just going to die turn 1. Instead, well, that's why we play Dark Ruler no more. But this deck is very powerful. Of course, there are different builds of it. You can play the rank 4 spam engine, or you can play the OTK variant, which I do. And either way, you're going to have a consistent way to murder your opponent via the rank 4s being able to negate your opponent's stuff. You have Boral Sword OTK. You also have Tiger, or not Tiger, Leo Dancer OTK. And Tiger is pretty much another soul charge, so yeah, you can loop that card like all hell. But yeah, this also is not a very expensive deck. Well, okay, I completely forgot to edit that. That's why that said that. Anyways, this is not too expensive. And yes, I'm putting Lost Wind in this. It can be used like 4 times if you play 2. Anyways, this is not a very expensive deck, but you could make the argument for the 5 semi-limited and limited dangers. Those are the best ones. However, if you choose not to play that and instead choose to play a rank 8 engine, you also have more of an XZ option to go into. And yeah, this deck is still pretty good. So yeah, pick it up if you wish to get the chance. I think the main core will cost you about $50. So you're not looking at too much to pick it up. Yeah, well, unless you're gonna buy the Phantasmes, then it's like $300 plus. But other than that, you're pretty much looking at a pretty budget deck. And as for the next one, this one's a bit more expensive, I guess, because the structure decks cost a lot, but it's Dinos. I think that Dinos are one of the strongest rogue decks viable to play. It's actually, some people have been saying it's the 5th best deck in the format, which I think is either 5th or 6th. It's between those two. That's why I'm saying pick this one as one of them. It's definitely not a deck to take for granted, whether you play the Shadow Dino build like I do. This is actually my current build. Like I have the cards in the deck box. Well, except for this, I'm waiting on my friend Jason to trade me for it. But pretty much, this is what you're. Well, this is Shadow Dino. Anyways, your deck can set up some pretty insane boards, even with bad hands. Like, I'm going to show you on the solo form. I'm going to show a combo I pulled off, which led to OTK. And let's see. Well, this sounds close enough. So we didn't have this. Whoops. So we didn't have Monster Reborn, nor did we have Dogoron in our hand. And Shadow Fusion was at the top of our deck. So what we had was Baby Ceresaurus, Fossil Dig, and Foolish Burial. So when we drew for our draw phase, and I'm using this as a going second form, this was us playing in Master Rule 5. So this is a little OTK combo if you play that form. Anyways, so our opponent had one extra deck monster, so we started with Shadow Fusion. And what we did was we sent Giant Rex, and we sent Shadow Beast to the grave. And this let us summon out Shekanaga. After that, Shadow Beast had let us draw a card. We did not draw into Shadow Fusion. Let me find the card we drew into, which was Miscellaneous Saurus. So, sorry, for me it's sort of hard to see this shit. I'm colorblind and it's sort of hard to see that. Anyways, continuing onwards, we had drew into Ceresaurus, and after that we opted to go Fossil Dig for Oviraptor. Then we One mode Oviraptor, activated effect, and then chained Miscellaneousaurus. Oviraptor will get the effect Search, which we added Petty Pteranodon. Afterwards, we activated our copy of Double Evo Pill, banishing Beast and Rex, and getting UCT out. UCT is Ultimate Conductor, for those who don't know. I'm just using this example with the dinos as this happened today when I was testing it. But this is also a neat Master Rule 5 combo if you want to play it. Anyways, we then overlaid these two into a copy of Dolka, giving us 3 negates and 4 interruptions. Because our opponent like bricked and made Guard and Rose Maiden. From there, we popped the baby Ceratosaurus in hand, and that let us summon a miscellaneous source from the deck. And then afterwards, banishing the one in grave, we summon Aeolo. And then Synchro summoned with these two, allowing us to go into Chambara and pretty much attack their face down, dealt them 1,000, attack for 23, and then attack for 22 and 24. Then, during main phase 2, what we had done was overlaid these two into our rail cannon, Gustav, and detach material for game. That's the combo we did. But there's several different combos with Boss Pro Dinos. This is just the one I did testing, and yeah, that is actually. If you had just not gone into this, your opponent would have been left with 100 life points, or 100, 200, whatever they're playing. My opponent was left with 100, but yeah, Gustav made it a complete OTK, and it's actually sort of consistent to do. However, this deck does require a bit of a learning curve, like most decks do, but this is also the most expensive one I've shown, excluding the Phantasmes and Lunalights. You don't actually need those. You could replace those with more Kaijus if you wanted, but if you want to play the more competitive Lunalight build, you're going to need Phantasmes. But don't buy them if you can afford them, but it's going to break your bank, okay? That's what I'm going to say for that. Updated, I'll go in depth on an updated deck profile tomorrow as to what all these do, in case you don't know. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this small little discussion video. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. There is still 7 days left on the Flames of Destruction playmat giveaway, so I will link that into the description below. And this is the Stefano Turtle YGO signing out. Goodbye.